This camp probably served commercial interests, providing food for men who work for mining operations and timber companies.
The world is coming. People are descending on Central Africa in hordes.
The Ba'aka have never seen anything quite like this.
They've never seen the real destruction that the rest of the human race can bring.
But the Ba'aka do understand what's at stake. They in the forest are caught between development and destruction, and the conflict divides them.
The forestry company will bring a dispensary. People will be treated for their illnesses.
I don't want the forestry companies to come to my village. They will destroy the forest. The animals will flee and go far away.
I visited other villages where the foresters have installed their companies. The villages are developed. It would be good if they came to develop my own village.
But when development comes, all too often, the forest and its people get exploited. Because when the trees are gone, so are the jobs. Sobered by what they've seen, the team presses on. In a few days, Nick Nichols will return to the United States with his first installment of photographs for National Geographic magazine. What he doesn't know is that he's also carrying a severe case of hepatitis. Four months into the mission, more than 14,000 additional acres of forest have been cut down, and uncounted numbers of endangered species have been killed.
This trip is 3 times harder than I thought it would be.
The men hack their way forward into a region they begin to think of as the most God-forsaken spot on Earth. They creep along, inching through miles of stifling undergrowth and blackwater swamps so acid the skin burns for hours.
Navigating through the forest on a line that you've drawn on a map makes it all the more difficult because you basically have to follow that path.
They named this place the Green Abyss.
We're beating our way. Beating and beating and beating and beating. It's almost as if it has no beginning and no end. Chop, chop, chop. This is the first time during the trip when everybody's been just completely exhausted and worn out.
A lot of times they looked at me and said, "We can't do this. We can't. It's impossible." And just say, "We've got to go forward.
Yeah.
We have to go forward. We're too far." Because we're already beyond the point of no return.
At times, the forest seems to swallow them, disorienting the team.
We are still apparently as far as we ever were from the edge of this swamp. Once again, French maps, Congolese swamps. Bad combination.
Mambelime is the only one with the strength to push on.
He cut all day, every day, just whack, 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 whack. I was feeding him granola bars like a machine. They wouldn't have gone if he wasn't telling them, "Let's keep going."
The men are tormented by sweat bees. The heat leaves a parching thirst. Even in a rainforest, Water can be hard to find.
This is the water we've been drinking the last 24 hours. Comes out of a hog's wallow.
It takes a mighty thirst to drink, and it takes a mightier appetite to eat the porridge of brown manioc.
We are about to crack. Fun and games on the Mega Transect.
But for Yves Matzu, the fun and games are over. After 4 months and 600 miles, the researcher quits the torturous march to renew body and spirit. The expedition presses on, but the casualty list is growing. Muko has suddenly taken ill. He's too weak to walk.
It's going to be mostly touch and go with Muko, I think, to keep him from walking, keep him hydrated. Keep having to coax the boys to carry him. They all want to have him walk. I refuse to let him tire himself out.
The need to carry Muko casts a pall over the group. Among the Ba'aka, only the dead and the dying are carried home.
You know, everything goes through your mind. Why didn't we stop before? Why didn't I let them go when they asked to go? You know, they have asked to go before.
Muko was gravely ill. He was too skinny, like the living dead.
They rush Muko toward the nearest village, a deviation from their planned route.
Carrying one of the porter's bags now. It's, since we have 2 guys taking the relay with Muko, that's 3 people out of commission.
Following Ba'aka tradition, Muko has been bled to let out the toxins in his body, and palisoda leaves applied as an herbal remedy. For 3 days and 20 miles, they carry him on their backs. But as they near the village, Muko insists on walking. If the villagers fear he is ill, they might bar his way, and any chance he has of getting help. Arrangements are made for Muko's evacuation, but his illness has broken the team's spirit.
They then asked if he was going to die right then and there, and I said no, he's recovering, looking down at the lifeless lump that used to be my buddy.
Muko's illness pushes the team over the edge. The Ba'aka simply don't want to go on, as Mambelime explains.
We are very tired, and we have walked very far. We miss our wives and children.
There is more. Faye may have pushed too hard. For Mike, their departure is devastating.
We'd spent the most difficult 8 months of our lives together, and we had endured incredible hardships and survived. These guys had just decided they'd gone too far.
While Mike tries to figure out a way to keep the expedition alive, Nick Nichols has returned from the U.S. after 3 months of treatment for hepatitis.
Really thought this project was over for me.
Nichols is back in Africa, against his doctor's wishes, but he stays in one place, taking photographs.
I promised my doctor I'd get lots of rest if he'd let me come back to Africa, so that's what I'm doing, resting.
He is in Odzala National Park in Congo, a place some call the gorilla capital of the world. Even if all goes well, it will be weeks before he meets up with Faye.
I'm on my way home, Mr. Gorilla. Here we go.
At the end of each day, he must walk through gorilla territory to get home.
Gorillas are pretty nice, but they can rip your head off if you're not careful. I must have ran into the gorillas here like 5 times. And I almost stepped on a poisonous snake. Saw a leopard on this trail. So I finally just started talking, trying to make sure they know I'm coming. I'm just trying to get home. Don't be afraid. Come on, make it. I get back to camp around just before dark. I've been talking to myself a lot. Starting to worry. I'm playing solitaire, which is kind of a mindless, stupid game. But I keep score and see how much money I would have won or lost if I was playing in Las Vegas. Stephen King I'm reading right now, which is not the kind of thing you should read out here. Since I've gotten back, I've done really good work. And I've been feeling better all the time. Feeling stronger. And I think I'm gonna make it through this.
A week after losing his first team, Mike's in Gabon, about to jumpstart his foundering expedition. He works out of the small Gabonese border town of Mvadi on the Ivindo River. Seeking new team members, he conducts interviews here with a recruitment speech designed to weed out all but the most hardy. He wants the men to understand the expedition means months in the forest, little rest, no alcohol, no radios, heavy bags, bad food, swamps, rain, mosquitoes, all for $12 a day, 7 days a week. It is the best and maybe the only job offer many of these men have had in months. Bebe Emile is a 20-year-old Baka pygmy. He will take Mombelime's role at the head of the column. Between Mvadi and a nearby gold mining operation, Faye's new team takes shape. Here, Faye rounds out his crew with hard-bodied miners. On Mike's payroll, they can earn far more than they take from the cold mud.